Hey YouTubers, it's Valerie with Money Mindset Coach, and today I want to talk about my new car. I had to sell my Acura TSX, which any of you who have been here before, you know how much I love that car. I love that car. It ran so great. It got good gas mileage, but I had the opportunity to buy my sister's car, which had less than half the mileage of my Acura. So I went ahead and bought it, and I gotta say, I was gonna keep both cars because I really just didn't want to let go of the TSX, but it was advantageous for me to do that because in the state of Missouri, and I don't know if I don't buy cars that often, so I'm not even really sure. But um, when you buy a car for a certain amount and then you sell your other car before you go do the tax, title, and license, you can actually deduct the amount you got for your old car off of what you paid for your new car. And so you pay sales tax on that amount, not the full amount of the new car. Well, when I found that out, I thought about it and I thought, yeah, I don't need two cars. As nice as it would have been to have, I didn't need two cars. So I sold it. I sold it to my niece Hannah, who is my sister, who I bought my car from, is her youngest daughter. So it was kind of a switch in the family. The really weird thing is, and I don't know if this is true in any other state, I don't remember this in Illinois or any other state that I've lived in, but when I registered the new car, they said, um, did I want to have somebody on the registration so if something happened to me and I died, that car would go to them. And so I put my sister because it was her car. And we have a thing to where if for some reason I ever am selling the car that I bought from her, I would give her first chance to buy it back. And my Acura, we're doing the same thing. If there's going to be a sale of that car, I get first chance to buy it back if I want it. And so we kind of have this thing. So anyway, I told her, I said, if I die, you get the car back. So it sounds kind of morbid. She said, yeah, it sounded a little creepy, but it's like, what can you do? I thought she would be the person that it should go to, you know? So I'm not going to worry about that unless for some reason I have a car accident and die in it and it's totaled, so it's dead too, then I don't think she's going to want it back. But if I die of anything else, like cancer or something like that, which brings me to another reason for this video. I have been reading a book by Dr. Mark Hyman. I found him on YouTube. I was really impressed with him because he is a doctor that does functional medicine, meaning he doesn't treat the symptoms. He finds out what the root cause, what is causing the symptoms, and then they treat that. And usually it's with diet, exercise. There's lots of different things you can do besides get prescribed a pill. And so I was really, really taken with his philosophy. I really, really liked it. So went to the library, checked out 3 of his books. He has the Young Forever book, which I think is his latest book. And then he's got the 10-day detox diet. Haven't even looked at that yet. I've just been reading the Forever Young or Young Forever book. And I gotta tell you, it's incredible. I have always been fascinated with the human body. When I went through cosmetology, I loved anatomy and physiology. My mom was a nurse. My aunt was a nurse. My ex-husband was a respiratory therapist. My boyfriend is a surgical tech, and there's all kinds of medical people in his family, doctors, nurses, nurse practitioners, there's all kinds of medical people in his family. And so I've always known what an amazing thing our body is. Absolutely amazing. And, you know, the more I read this book and the more I was seeing how incredibly amazing the human body is with all of the organs and how they all work together, there's just no doubt in my mind that we were created. I really truly believe that. There is no way that this body works the way that it does without having been created by our creator. I have no doubt about that. Absolutely no doubt about that. And I feel it even more so after reading this book. But I am finding I took some quizzes that are in the book, and some I'm healthy and some I have moderate imbalances. And so I'm going to be working on that for the next 2.5 years, because in 2.5 years, I turn 70, and 60 was hard for me. 60 was really hard because I felt like, oh my gosh, I'm in this last trimester of life. You know, they call it your golden years and all that. And all of a sudden, when I turned 60, I felt old. I was newly divorced, turning 60, kind of starting my life all over again. And it was scary. It was really scary. And so here, 2.5 years from now, I'm going to be 70 years old. Now, the magic or the thing about how I feel about 70 has to do with my sister-in-law who passed away in June. She was not healthy. She was morbidly obese, and a lot of her health problems stemmed from the obesity, because when you get really heavy, you can't move. And if you can't move, you're going to get sick. You are not going to stay healthy. You have to move. And she just had, over the last, I would say probably 5 years, she had just steadily declined to where, 2 years ago, when I went to help them sell their house, and I hadn't seen her in a while, and she literally was walking with a cane and could only take a few steps and had to sit down. I was pretty shocked. I didn't know that her health had gotten to that point. So anyway, she passed away in June and was 70 years old. And I tell you what, it kind of kicked me into gear and made me think, okay, I want to live for a very long time. I want to be around for my grandchildren and my great-grandchildren. My oldest grandchild is 18. My youngest is 3. I have to be around. I don't want to miss anything. I don't want to miss anything. I want to be here. I want to be like my boyfriend's mother. This month, this is October 1st, she has a birthday this month. She will be 91 years old. And all she takes is vitamins. She doesn't have any medication. She doesn't. She has a TV room and she sits there and she's got her little pedal thing going, I mean, she's moving. She works. She works in a preschool. She still drives. She's an amazing lady. She is an amazing lady, and I really, truly love her. And I am so glad that when I met my boyfriend, he was 63 years old. My mom and my dad were already gone. They were already deceased. And when I met him and found out that his mother was, well, she must have been 81. Yeah. And she was 80 when I met her, and she turned 81 right after I met him. I was thrilled. I was thrilled. I did not expect to find his parents still living, with him being 5 years older than me. I couldn't believe it. So I was really, really thrilled that she was still around. And we had a big 90th birthday party for her last year. And this year, it'll be just a regular birthday party, but still 91. And she works and drives and is on no medication. That's an awesome thing. So anyway, I'm reading this book. I'm going to put these things into practice, and 70 is going to look better than what I am right now at 67. 70 is going to be great, and I am going to be working on that. The good thing is that when I had my DEXA scan last year to look at my bones, because I did have osteoporosis, been on Fosamax, it was osteopenia. Well, osteopenia is better than osteoporosis, but it's still loss of bone. It's still loss of bone. So I need to improve that even more. But as it turns out, Fosamax, you're only supposed to be on that for 5 years. It was 5 years for me in February. So I've been on Fosamax a little longer than 5 years, and it's only supposed to be 5 years. So my doctor told me, he said, you're not going to be on anything for the next 2 years. And then we'll do another DEXA scan and see where your bones are. So my plan is to, do the weight training, do the exercises. I am working for the next 2.5 years to increase my bones and increase my muscle. Because I got to tell you, I don't have a whole lot of muscle. And that is called sarcopenia, I think it's the name for it. That is loss of muscle. So I have lost some bone. I have lost some muscle. I am working at gaining both of those. And, we don't have to, as women, because I know that's mostly who watches me, but as women, we don't have to accept aging. Because my doctor will even say, oh, that's normal. Oh, that's aging. Oh, yeah, that's what happens. Blah, 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 blah. Like it's okay. It is not okay with me. I want to improve those two things. Now, I am considering getting a scale that actually will tell you how much muscle, how much fat, it kind of tells you that. It doesn't just tell your weight, because your weight is only one part of it. And before I started reading this book, I would get on the scale and I would look at that number. I would look at that number. And if it went down, I was happy. If it went up, I wasn't happy. But the thing is, I don't know. I know now that I don't have a whole lot of muscle, but I need to get the scale so I can see an improvement in my muscle. And part of that, this doctor who wrote the book, truly believes that your diet is everything. Food can be medicine or it can be poison, one of the two. And so you have to eat the right things. You have to stay hydrated. There are so many things that go into taking really good care of yourself. And it's like this car that I just bought. It's got 95,000 on it, but it's a Toyota. And so many of the car guys that have YouTube channels have said, if you have a Toyota and you take really good care of it, you can go 300, 400,000 miles, meaning like us, we can get to be 90, 95, or whatever. And we can have a good quality of life, because I don't want to be 95 and be sitting in a wheelchair and, you know, not being able to take care of myself. I don't want to live like that. I don't want to be 95 and that be what 95 is to me. I don't want that. I do not want that. And I'm really working at that. But the funny thing is, I forgot to mention, so I had to do the e-check-in for my doctor's appointment because it was the Medicare annual thing, doctor's appointment. And oh my gosh, the e-check-in was absolutely ridiculous. It was, can you feed yourself? Can you walk? Can you do your housekeeping? The simplest things. Can you dress yourself? And I'm going down this list and I'm saying, no, 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 no to everything. And I'm like, I'm 67. I can still do all these things. But then I thought about it and I thought, okay, people who are on Medicare could be in their 90s, 80s, 90s. They could be 100. And these things have to be asked of everybody who is on Medicare. It has to. It has to. So then I thought about it and I thought, okay, they got to ask these things. But then I said something to my doctor and my doctor said, no, it doesn't have to be. Why couldn't they know when they see my name that I'm 67 and ask me appropriate questions for my age? But no, they treat you like you're 100, and I am far from that. And I am going to live a good long time, unless, God willing, or God forbid, I end up, dying from injuries or something, car accident or whatever. But sickness, no, I can do something about that. And that is exactly what I am starting to do. So the book is called Young Forever by Dr. Mark Hyman. You can find him on Facebook. He's incredible. And he has guests on his show. I've learned so much from him. But the neat thing about the book is that there's no way that he can go into depth like he does in the book in a 30-minute video, hour video. He can't do that. The book is awesome. He goes into the specifics. And I tell you, when I get done reading this book, I think I'm going to read it again because there is so much to know. Now, I got this book from the library, but halfway through, I'm like, I got to have this book. And so I bought it on Amazon for $11, hardback. Yeah. And I thought, I got to have this because I am going to be referring to this book for the next 2.5 years and beyond to to do this. I think I've finally found the thing that I can do, because he tells you everything, everything. And you look at a lot of these things, and he talks about just the simple thing of, if you're smoking and you quit, huge. You walk 20 minutes every morning, huge. There are small, little things that you can do that will increase your health, increase your lifespan. I mean, he is all in, and he knows that everything he does is, as far as his health, maybe not everybody's going to want to do all that, but there are a lot of things in this book that you can incorporate into your own life. And that's what I'm working on right now. I am looking for the plan for me to extend my life. That's the other thing, is he talks about health span and lifespan. Your lifespan is your chronological age and how long you live. Your health span is how long you live with health, with a good quality of life. Some people have a good quality of life. They get to be 85. Maybe they live to 90. And that last 5 years, like with my sister-in-law, the last 5 years of her life, it was not good. It was not a healthy life. She was very limited in what she could do. She was an author. Her books are on Amazon. She was a very good writer. And the thing is she could sit at her desk and she could write. She didn't need to be physically active to write her books. She didn't need to be. So that was an outlet for her, gave her something to do, but she was very limited. She had lymphedema. She had the fluid in the legs, and it was not getting any better. It was not getting any better. And I would say the last 6 months of her life were pretty difficult, and she's got kids. She had kids in their 20s, and now they're without their mom. And that's young. That is young to lose your mother. My kids are all in their 30s, and I'm hoping that they're in their 50s, like I was when I lost my mom and dad. But hey, my boyfriend is 72. He still has his mom. That's amazing. That's a blessing. It's really a blessing when you still have, a parent. It's very, very, it's just blessed. But anyway, that's all I have for now. Got my new car, got a good report from the doctor, but that's not enough for me. I'm going to do more than that. So look into Dr. Mark Hyman on YouTube. Check him out. And let me know in the comments if you have watched any of his videos. You may be familiar with him. You may have read this book, but I am excited about the whole thing. So anyway, I'll see you the next time. And like I always say, use it up, wear it out, make it do without. Till next time. Bye.